Hello watch fans, this is Anders here on Watch On channel. Today a quick unboxing video because I just got into Baltic Watches. Baltic Watches, this French watch brand specializing a bit in vintage inspired watches. They have come very far. They are even now producing watches that are on the waiting list. So I was in contact with the company and asked them for two of their very cool sports dive watches in for review. These two watches are on loan and are of course going back. When I reviewed them, I don't get to keep them or anything like that, full disclosure. So in this video I'm just going to very quickly unbox these two watches, give you the basic specifications, just like for example an initial review, and then I'm going to follow up with full reviews, in-depth reviews with accuracy testing, lume shots, all of that. Really nice outer cardboard box with Baltic written in silver, and then inside you actually find a nice blue leather box. I'm not quite sure if this is real leather, but it feels like real leather. Really nice packaging. Then you find the warranty card here and the manual, and you can of course now see this is the Aquascaphe, one of their newer watches. So let's see what's inside of the blue box here. And here it is. This is the Aquascaphe GMT, a very interesting vintage inspired GMT watch. It comes in three different versions. This almost kind of pale Batman with the gray and the blue. Then you get a Pepsi with red and blue, and then you can actually get a very cool, very fresh, kind of fruity version with green and blue. I really like how shiny it is. I really like the sapphire bezel insert here. It is not ceramic, but sapphire. It gives this kind of bakelite vintage look, kind of a little more pale look than sapphire, to give it a really warm vintage look. And then I really like the color choices with the blue Aquascaphe here and the blue and white GMT hand. Also we get a date at 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock numbering here, and you see the hour markings which are filled with lume. No lume shots in this video because it's just an initial review, unboxing video. You also get a very nice domed sapphire here, sapphire crystal. And I also really like the black glossy dial. Just really expressive but very vintage inspired watch. So let's just have some quick dimensions. 39.4 millimeters in diameter, thickness of 13.3, log width of 20 millimeters, log to log of just short of 47. And the crown is 6.9, so nice big crown with no crown guards, you see. So the movement inside is the Subhot 150. This is a Swiss movement. We don't often see these movements. Usually when we see these GMT movements, these off-the-shelf GMT movements, they're often Sellita movements or maybe some of the Japanese movements, Seiko or Miyota. But this is a very interesting Swiss movement. I don't experience too many Subhot movements, so that's very funny and interesting to experience. Nice smooth winding. So let's see. See the second hand, lollipop second hand, and the very simple sword style hour and minute hand. So first position, you actually set the GMT hand and the date you see here. And then you can set the GMT hand to your liking. Second position, you of course set the time and you see that the GMT hand is following. This is a true GMT because you can independently set the GMT hand. So you can definitely choose between different strap options, but I really like this Beads of Rice bracelet here. A really nice choice to just follow up this very nice vintage look. Also, usually I would like more different finishes to the case, but I really like this brushing. It's very nicely done. And then you actually see the middle part here, the lower part of the bezel. It's polished. I really like how it looks in the light here. Very sturdy clicks. Can you hear the sound? Very sturdy clicks. So then you can set the third time zone with the bezel here. Nice clasp, milled metal, and 2 push button release. You see here 6 micro adjustments, really nicely made, because you also get short links here, so it's very easy to actually find the right fitting to your wrist. So this is the Baltic Aquascaphe, the blue and gray version, on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference. Perfect size, absolutely perfect size. This approximately 39 millimeter big watch. It really feels and looks like a vintage watch. I really like the aesthetics. I think that Baltic watches with their designs are just doing the completely right thing. And the bracelet feels very comfortable. Just need to size it a little bit with the micro adjustments, but that's all I need to do. So that was the first one of the 2 watches. Let's have a look at the other one. And let's open the box. And here we have a watch that I have been also looking very much forward seeing. This is one of the newer Aquascaphe dive watches. This is a new version that they made. The interesting thing with this is that they made it in titanium. So it's very light. Let's just try to weigh it here. So 60 grams for a 41 millimeter dive watch. That's a really nice weight. You will definitely not feel that too much on your wrist. And the other one, the GMT, 132 grams. That's also very nice for a sports style GMT watch with a mechanical movement and on a stainless steel bracelet. So here we have the blue version of the Aquascaphe Titanium. The interesting thing is that at first glance you will actually think that the bezel here is made of aluminium, but it is actually a ceramic bezel with which they actually brush, and I really like the look with how it looks when they brush it. Again, this nice glossy dial. Bigger hands, because this is much more of a dive watch. You also see here 300 meters of water resistance. Baltic below 12 o'clock. Inside of this watch beats a very interesting movement. This is the Myota 9039. That's a no-date high beat movement with 28,800 revolutions per hour. I really like the Myota movements of the 90 series. They are really good movements, extremely good alternatives to ETA or Sellita movements in my opinion. So let's see the size here. Including the bezel, which is actually hanging from the case, going beyond the case, is approximately 41 millimeters. So without the bezel, let's try to measure that. 38 millimeters. So you can see you have a bezel which is very much overhanging. This means that this watch will actually probably wear a bit smaller than its actual size. 13.4 millimeters in thickness. 20 millimeter lock width, so you can easily also put on other straps. And then 47.1 millimeters. I really like the fact that they made a no-date dive watch. I think that's the right vintage aesthetics. And this deep blue color really looks good. I think that the color of the dial matches the color of the bezel very well. Again, we see these brushed finishes. Signed screw down crown. Let's just measure the crown. So it was 6.9 millimeters on the other watch. It's exactly the same size here. So nice big crown, very easy to operate for a sports watch. Ooh, that's good. 120 click unidirectional bezel, no play. Very easy to grip because of this coin etching. And again, because the bezel here, it goes out from the case. Here you see nice case back. Easy removal straps, very nice tropic style rubber strap. You also see the buckle is signed. Very nice to wear on my 17.5 centimeter wrist circumference. It looks great. So light, 60 grams. It's almost like you are not wearing a watch. That's quite a spectacular feeling. Here you also see the domed sapphire crystal, because it is actually a 41 millimeter dive watch. So that's quite interesting. You also see here, this one is 100 meters of water resistance. So very cool sports watches from Baltic. I look forward to doing the full reviews of both of these watches. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It's a big help. Leave a comment down below. That's also a big help. And subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook.